My name is John Edwards, and I'm an artist and a poet and a farmer in Yellow Point, near Ladysmith. And my background is that I'm Welsh in origin and have a great connection with the landscape. And I've written a number of books which are translations of ancient Greek and Latin poets, as well as my own poetry. And in my working life, which I'm still working, I guess, I taught at university, and now I grow a fruit called a quince. So I'm a quince farmer in Yellow Point. Basically, I'm influenced by what I see around me, the beauty of natural creation. Not so much person-made, as made by the earth. And I'm influenced by many other poets and artists, in particular Emily Carr and a group of 7 artists, I would say, and I begin by looking at their work for inspiration about the Canadian landscape. And I was influenced in a negative way by attending University of Oxford, in which everything is hierarchical and you're told what to believe and what to say. And I've got past that. Well, I work in a series of paintings. So I get a theme or an idea, and then I work from it. And the inspiration for this painting behind me was just a fragment of one of Emily Carr's landscapes on the top of a tree. And it's very simple, but very beautiful. So that was the spark, and then I started to work from it. So I believe that nothing is really original in life. Everybody borrows from what has happened before. Everything in Shakespeare, for example, is borrowed from other writers he had studied in school, Cambridge School. Everything. It's just how you put it together or how you rearrange it and add your own touch to it. So that's what I do. I begin with an image or an idea that I see in somebody else, and then I internalize it, and then it comes out. And I'm always trying to get the connection between the language of color and the language of poetry, because somehow I want to connect them together as much as possible. I think I live in Eden already, so why leave? I know other parts of the world are beautiful, but my spiritual home is the forests of Vancouver Island and the landscapes we have here, even though they have been somewhat abused through resource extraction. That's where I want to be. I don't really want to be looking at some site where Renoir lived or some classical sculpture. I enjoy looking at it, but for me to create something new, I need to be here, because I feel very bonded with the landscape. Just like someone like E.J. Hughes, for example, also. He's another person I quite admire for his interpretation of where he lived, partly in Ladysmith. This is my favorite question, because most of my life I was told what to think and what to believe at various universities and colleges, art school. And I realized in the end that they couldn't all be right. And so my mentor is Socrates, the Athenian philosopher. And his idea of knowing the truth, or knowing what one should do, is to get to the point where you know nothing. And you've stripped away all the prejudices, preconceptions, all the teachings of others, until you can start with a blank slate, tabula rasa. And then your own honest mind can start to work. But if you're cluttered up with what they taught you and tell you is good, I think it's an impediment. So in my later years, I've got to the point that I want to think like Socrates. I'd just like to say that I so much appreciate being part of this gallery and the support that that people here give me as a poet and a painter. And I think that places like this are invaluable in the modern world, and can, especially in this time of plague, can keep up people's morale and give them something to look at and to enjoy that is not tainted by gloom.